lesson 26. In this lesson, we'll venture into the future tense. Now, there are no future tense verbs in either the Rosary or the Angelus, so our phrase this week is not taken from our prayers, but is instead taken from a psalm, Psalm 84. Even though we're trying to concentrate on grammar that's found in our prayers, I thought that for the sake of giving you a thorough introduction to Latin, it would be helpful to spend a little bit of time on the future tense. Our phrase is Deus tu conversus vivificabis nos. Thou wilt turn, O God, and bring us to life. Now, a review of tenses. The verbs we've looked at so far have all been present tense verbs, which is those that indicate something that's happening in the here and now, whether action or being. For example, you've learned that credo means I believe, and that's taking place now. Quies in celis means who art in heaven, now. Dominus tecum means the Lord is with thee, now. But future tense obviously means something that will happen in the future. And to create a Latin verb in the future tense, we change the endings that are normally found on present tense verbs. Once you can do that, you'll be able to say, I will believe, or the Lord will be with thee. Latin future tense verbs take one of two patterns for their endings, depending on the verb's conjugation. The first and second conjugations have one particular set of endings, and the third and fourth conjugations have a different set of endings. Here's the paradigm for the future tense of the first conjugation verb, orare. Note that the same endings are used for second conjugation verbs, but that those are preceded by E instead of A, because E and A are the distinguishing vowels of those two conjugations. So the endings bo, bis, bit, bimus, bitis, punt. And again, for the first conjugation, they're preceded by an A, and for the second conjugation, those are preceded by an E. Now here's the paradigm for the future tense of the third conjugation verb, gemere, to mourn. These endings are also used for fourth conjugation verbs, but those verbs have an additional letter I in front of these endings. So am, es, et, emus, etis, ent, which are the third conjugation endings, will be preceded by I when they're used for fourth conjugation verbs. We also have a future tense for esse, to be. Ero, eris, erit, erimus, eritis, erunt. And of course that's I will be, thou shalt be, he, she, or it will be, and so on. Some examples now. Since there are no future tense verbs in the prayers of the Rosary, we'll look instead at some more lines from Psalm 84. You should be familiar with most of these words, certainly the nouns and verbs. We'll start with verse 7, which is our phrase. Thou wilt turn, O God, and bring us to life. In Latin, Deus tu conversus vivificabis nos. You'll recognize God, Deus. Tu is you and nos is us. Conversus comes from the verb convertere, to turn. And the one that you should take particular note of is vivificabis. That's in the form that you were just given previously for the first and second conjugation verbs. It's the second person singular form of vivificare, to bring to life. Vivificabis. Verse 13 goes like this. For the Lord will give goodness, and our earth shall yield her fruit. In Latin, etinem Dominus dabit benignitatem, et terra nostra dabit fructum suum. Etenim is a conjunction that we haven't had before. It usually means because or since, but for this phrase it's translated as for the Lord will give goodness. Benignitatem is goodness, and it's in the accusative form. Terra you would recognize as earth, and fructum is fruit. A couple of pronouns in there as well. But the verb that you should take note of is dabit. Dabit is the third person singular form in the future tense of dare, to give. The third example is verse 14. Justice shall walk before him, and shall set his steps in the way. Justitia ante eum ambulabit, et ponet in via graesus suos. Justice is justitia, ante is before, and ambulabit is third person singular future tense form of ambulare, to walk. Graesus is steps, and that's plural and accusative. In the way is in via, and ponet is the third person singular form in the future tense of ponere, to put or place. Now vocabulary. Mortuus, mortui, masculine, the dead or corpse. Graesus, graesus, masculine, step. Inde is an adverb meaning thence. Mysterium, mysterii, neuter, mystery. Inioscere, to forgive, third conjugation verb. Ostendere, to show, another third conjugation verb. Homework, as usual, look in your text at the end of the lesson. And if you'd like more work, there are some supplementary exercises. And your drill schedule will now include some future tense conjugating to do. That's it from me. Until next time, goodbye, God bless.